Welcome once again to another Billionaire Talk. Thank you for sharing this space with me. As always, I'm a drop a little something. I ain't gonna keep you guys long. I hope and pray. You guys had a awesome Friday and part of the week. So we're gonna right into this topic. Another, like I said, another edition of Billionaire Talk. The title is the little lengthy title: March on Washington, Emmett, how far have we come? That's what the title gonna be. The March on Washington, Emmett, how far have we come? The reason why I picked that is today is August 28th. What's going on, Ice Heart? Glad you can join. Reason why I picked that because this is August 28th, 2020, and two very important things happened today in history. On August 28th, 1963 was the day they had the March on Washington, and that was, as a lot of you guys, know was the march and Dr. Martin Luther King with the famous, I have a dream speech and everything. So that was August 28th, 1963. Welcome, anybody who's coming in to the live. Welcome. Another day in history is again August 28th in 1955 was when a young man, Emmett Till, was murdered. And two big historical things happen on this day. So that's why I'm gonna talk about give you a little history lesson and also talk about how far have we came. How have we come? In 2020. Especially with a lot of stuff that's going on. And hey, what's going on, Angel Army? Glad you can join. Anybody else? Glad you can join us. Definitely. So again, August 28th. Two major things I'm gonna talk about that happened. Like I said, I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I'm gonna start with the March on Washington, and that was like 57 years ago. They did have today in Washington D.C. 57 year I guess anniversary, I guess what you can call it. And they talked about more so the police brutality. What's good, Chip? What's good? They talk about the stuff that's going on today, police brutality, and they actually had the young man who was shot 7 times. Jacob Blake, father, I think both parents actually was there. Al Sharpton, all the regular folks and everything. Okay, 57 years. Did we? How far have we come? Anybody can chime in. With this, how far have we come? Did it get worse? Did it get better? Me personally, I'm gonna talk about each one separate. Each history making thing. For the August 28th event. Event. So the March on Washington. How far have we come? Yeah, we made strides. Don't get me wrong, we made strides in different areas. A lot of stuff that we can do now that we couldn't do. Our fathers and our parents and grandparents and great grandparents and great, of course. Were in bondage, slaves, and we couldn't do. Education. We were able to go to in anywhere we can afford to go. A lot of our parents and grandparents wasn't able to go to certain schools, and certain neighborhoods, to live in, and different things like that. So not to say that we have grown in certain ways, jobs, and who you can be. You can be that millionaire and a multi-millionaire, and whatever billionaire. You have the opportunity to do these things, and sitting in restaurants, and different things. A lot of things that our parents and grandparents and great grandparents could not do. So going back to the other side of it, okay, well, we in August 2020, August 28, 2020, and a lot of as civil unrest is going on in the streets. We still getting shot down by the cops. And we have technology now. We have video. And it appears to still not making a difference as far as going after these guys and prosecuting these guys. And even as recent as this weekend, and the what I talked about yesterday with the young man, 17 years old, traveling 2 hours just to shoot up folks, with AR-15, and was not apprehended the same way if he was a black man. If he was black, I'm hearing more and more accounts of what happened, within the last 24 hours. They say he kind of was out there chilling with the cops. This is like before it happened, chilling with the cops with the AR-15. They showing videos, showing pictures. 17 years old. He came from the state of Illinois, and he was in Wisconsin, and it was two two states that he had to be 18 to even openly carry, like that. And if y'all seen pictures of this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, you could clearly see he's a minor. Stevie Wonder could see that he's a minor, man. And even if you didn't really know that he was a minor, he should have been a question. But they even had like video that he's chilling beside the cops. They giving him, they say they gave him water, and he's up there just chilling with the cops. Just like he's supposed to be policing. That's the thing. What's good? What's good, April? What's good, April? Glad you can join us. Definitely glad you can join us. So things like that. How far? How far have we come? With things like that, of how we being treated in the society, or the thought process. And again, looking at a lot of stuff that I've seen with Mr. Rittenhouse, his parents. They started showing about his parents, his mom, and then seeing about his dad. These people are like militia type looking people. With the camouflage and the military militia outfits and stuff, and not the stereotype people, but again, you can tell where this young man got this thinking from. It was born and man, it's no different from 50, 60 years ago. Racism is taught. It's definitely taught. By our parents. So what you expect? And these are homegrown terrorists. This young man, homegrown terrorists. So again, so what's the difference? What's the difference of 50, 60 years ago? So again, just backtracking, talking about, like the March on Washington, 57 years ago, to the day, August 28th. That was in August 28, 1963. Dr. Martin Luther King did his famous I Have a Dream speech. John Lewis, who just transitioned, great civil rights icon who just transitioned recently, was one of the speakers that was there. I believe he was actually the youngest speaker that spoke. He was like, again, icon in the civil rights movement, and they were there for equality, the poor, people of the time, and justice for the most part. So 57 years later, we still at the same spot doing the same thing, and so how far, what is it going to take? What is it really going to take, for us not to be there? I mean, if we going back to the March on Washington, this should be just going back just to commemorate the day. But we going back talking about the same stuff, or actually worse stuff, actually worse. And, we and a lot of the, I guess, black leaders are, of course, promoting voting and all that. And let me clarify, I'm not against voting or whatever. I just got to ask or say, okay, we go to November 3rd, November 4th. If, we vote in certain people, it is the whole world is going to massively change, so what happens after November 3rd? What happens to November 4th, 5th, and beyond? If we just promote and vote, 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 vote. So my belief is, yeah, go ahead and vote. But what's after that? What's after that? That's not a magical solution, because if it was a magical solution, we wouldn't be in the situation as a community. This is something that we've been doing for 50, 60 years. So again, that's pretty much with the March on Washington, going on, and some other event that happened August 28th. That was actually 1955. A young man, Emmett Till, and this is a story I heard of when I was a young man, probably a teenager, probably around his age and stuff. And this is something, like, again, I talk about a lot of the videos and lives that it's something that's not taught in school. It's something that's not really out there. You see it more and more now because we have more access to it. But Emmett Till was a young man who was 14 years old. He was actually from Chicago, and he went to visit some relatives in the South. It was Money, Mississippi, in the Deep South in 1955. He was there visiting some relatives, and long story short, he allegedly whistled at a white woman. And back in those days, that was punishable. Sad to say, when we, and for, that was like the Jim Crow law, which, that's another video. We'll talk about that. But he allegedly, whistled at a white woman, and she told her husband, and he got, some of his Klansmen buddies, and they actually, went into this young man's house, and grabbed him, and and actually murdered him and tortured and murdered him. And which is, I mean, our people, our community have been through some horrific, acts, and horrific situations, and that was in 1955. That wasn't even slavery. Slavery, they went through some horrific, situation, and then, but just imagine. I mean, this is a 14-year-old young man, so he had been scared to death that, being removed from his home. People came straight to your home. You don't have the law or anybody on your side. Came straight in your home and, yank you up because you allegedly supposed to have whistled, at a white woman, and you got murdered. And as a parent, as the mom, which his mom was named Mamie Till, I mean, it's horrendous. And you know black women, well, we all as a people, but black women have gone through so much in history, even going back to slavery, when their actual kids was taken away from them, and they couldn't do anything. They was actually raped by masters or whoever, and couldn't do anything. So what's good, brown girl Bella? Yes, mount up, squad up.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's just we went through some stuff, and we still going through some stuff. So again, getting back to with the Emmett Till, so he was murdered for allegedly, which now the white woman went to trial, I believe several times. Guys were acquitted. Later on, this lady took this lady to her deathbed, saying that she made it up. And what kind of human being, knowing you had to know who your husband, what your husband capable of, and his little, bitch ass clansman buddies, what we're capable of doing, and you're gonna jeopardize a child, with that, so that's the hate we're dealing with. So again, we're talking about them two events. How far have we come? How far have we come? And we move forward. Let me honest with everybody. Yeah, hey, mount up, April, mount up. What's good, Bree? Anybody else I've seen? I think I got everybody. Ice Heart Chip. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got Angel. Yeah, so thank you for coming through and sharing the space with me. And again, I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I got a few more minutes, and we're gonna wrap it up. For this session. But again, um, August 28th, and these are events. Well, the March on Washington event that they will tell you in school, but definitely not the Emmett Till, and I had to find out this. I don't even know how I found out, but I kind of remember when I was younger, probably 12, 13 years old, about the Emmett Till, and then it goes into a lot of things that has happened to us and still happening to us, and Emmett Till was the famous one, but you just got to look at those people who never even made the news. You have a lot of stories and family members just don't say anymore. That the dad that being yanked from his home and never heard of again, and just horrendous stories, horrific stories. So how far have we come? How far have we come in this, America? And like I said, we have a lot of good points. Like I said, we can, do things like education, and it is out there for us to make money, like, to grow, to live in different places and everything. So we have, grown in those areas, but far as being accepted as a human being, overall from this country, how far have we come? How far have we really come? With this, if we still, trying to, fight this disease of racism and hate. So it's like, what do we do? What is the answers? And is the answer to this is to move on. I'm gonna talk about that in the video too. Probably the next video about moving on. Are we tired? Are we just say let's pack up and get our own land? Other people talked about that. Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey, talked about getting up and just go. And I talked about this on the video yesterday about NBA Hall of Fame coach of the LA Clippers, Doc Rivers. One of the quotes that's been going around. He's talking about, we loving the country that don't love us. So it's a lot to think about. And again, on the flip side, it's some beautiful things about this country, and I do believe that. It's some diehard racism out here, but I do believe that this is a country that you can do anything you want to do, and and do not let racism or ignorant people to hold you back. But and I think with us, we just have to, if we're gonna be here and share this space with people that don't like us, or who trying to block us, we had to be smart. For one, we had to unify. I've talked about that in several videos. That's the first thing we got to do. We got to unify. We got to love each other. And I'm not talking about just other people outside our community love them, but I'm talking about us. We got to, we always talk about the crab in a barrel. We got to stop pulling each other down. It's money and opportunity here for everybody. So if you know something, or as far as how to make money, or to better myself, so for me and my family, we need to tell each other. Other communities, they do it. And you have the Asian community. The Asian community is prevalent in our community as far as stores, and they do the sisters' nails a lot, and the pedicures and all this type of stuff, and wigs and weaves, and you name it. The Asian are in our community. And it's crazy because the Asians overall have the lowest voting turnout, among everybody, but they move their economics. And when I say move their economics, we're a big part of their economics. Yeah, of course, we a lot of people, discriminate against Asians, and Muslims, and whatever. Yeah, but the thing about it, we're the only people that don't use our economic power, that rise above it. We're the only people that do that. So it's almost like other cultures, yeah, they hear it, but it's like I don't care, because hey, I own this store. You coming to me, you making me rich. We the only ones just don't have the, well, no, I don't say don't have the power, just don't use our power. And you got to realize this is a capitalistic society, so it runs on capitalism, and capitalism, to make it simple and plain, is money. Money. So you can't, so it goes back to what I'm saying with the March on Washington, and all this type of stuff, and we rally, we march, we protest, and all this type of stuff, but nothing moves without economics in this country. You don't move nothing, without economics. So when we have that person or restaurant or business discriminate us, yeah, I mean, you know, take to the streets and stuff, but you need to take to the streets and stop their money train. That's how get things solved. Because these people, they not looking, they don't have a change of heart, but you got to make them change. And how you make them change is straight economics. It's not because you march, you say some speeches, you pray, and I'm not against no praying or none of that. But we can't just pray and marching on them. Some we should overcome, but when are we gonna overcome? It's 50 some years now. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for us to overcome. And we're not gonna overcome it unless we get some economic power. And hit this capitalistic monster in the pockets. So that's the only way that we will grow and and strive, in this country. So, and with the and we got to protect ourselves as well. We talk about the immaterial, but it's still going on now. With the cops and all this type of stuff. We talked about yesterday. Get into the legal system. Got to get into the legal system. Get these jobs as police chiefs and whatever, and hold, and if you're gonna do the voting thing, hold these people accountable all the way up to the president or the vice president. People talk so much about Kamala Harris and Biden or Trump or whoever. It shouldn't be nothing if you hold them accountable. And hold your local people accountable. We can't just do all this lip service, with this. Other cultures hold their officials accountable. I mean, this goes even down to, schools and the PTA. Other cultures, they go through the proper channels. If something going on with little Tommy at school, they going to the teacher. Teacher don't get it done. They going to the principal. Principal don't get it done. They going to the next school board meeting. or the person who run that district. So, but we don't want to just complain and just let it go. But yeah, we just not knowing the rules. We've been constantly playing checkers and stuff, and they playing chess. And we got to start learning some chess. This again, this is we've been in this. Our ancestors landed in this country hundreds of years ago, and we still behind the eight ball as a community. Quite a few of us know what's going on, and quite a few of us have risen above it, but we got so many not. And I was just talking about this story the other day in my own town, Richmond, Virginia. The other night I was out. I went from one part of town to the other, and I think it was like a Wednesday night, and I think about 10:30, and I'm not I'm not to say that the people shouldn't be out, but I just saw so many people, so many of our people just hanging out. I mean, it was almost like on every corner. It was nice outside for the most part, summer night, but almost like every corner that somebody was out. So I say most responsible adults, they're in the house. They about to wind it down. Or either on their back deck in their own home, or in a patio or whatever. But they kind of wind it down for the next day. Or either you got people going like a night shift, going to work. But it is so many people, and not the stereotype or whatever. But I just felt like okay, so hey, what's going on, Jazz and Nicole? So I just felt like it was just so many people out, and I saw and I didn't see it wasn't young people. I saw people that was anywhere from 30 on to 50 and 60, older people that kind of more mature and well, I say well seasoned. And then when I say that, I know some people, some of them had been parents. So who's watching your kids? And I ain't talking about little kids. I'm talking about your teenage kids, or knowing where they at. We had a lot of shootings here, summertime, we have a lot of shootings, all over the place. Richmond, Virginia is a hotbed, Chicago, it's all around, this whole entire country, So, I look at that. So, how many of you guys know where your kids gonna be at? So it's a lot of factors and stuff like that. But again, we have to the self accountability with us in our own community. And when so I'm talking about them events, August 28th, with the March on Washington and the Emmett Till situation. How far have we really come? How far have we really come? And how do we get where we need to be? How do we get where we need to be? So I'm gonna start closing this thing out. I'm gonna close it out actually because I got something I'm gonna continue on the next live, and I'm gonna talk about far as us just packing up and finding our own. So we in a country that we've been here for hundreds of years, and is it gonna get better? Or is it time for us to go? It's almost like you. I was telling somebody this today. It's almost like you, guys. You might be, trying to, get that young lady attention and stuff, and she said no. She don't want to deal with you. I ain't trying to holler at you and stuff. You still trying to do it. You still trying to, get with that woman or whatever, and she clearly don't want to be with you. So that's how I feel about this country. I really do. Of how is treating us as a whole. And how it has been treating not only us but our grandparents and parents and great greats and whoever since we've been here. And the only time we can get some good treatment if we hold the power of economics, So again, thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart for coming through. And I hope you learn something, or you know, take some away, from this. So my next one, like I said, I think we'll talk about, is it time for us to go? It's time for us to get our own. I'm not necessarily talking about going back to Africa, because we're not, we're not African. We're African descent. So we go to Africa, we be lost. So I ain't talking about I know Marcus Garvey, many years ago, talked about going back to Africa. We weren't too far removed back then. Where we were removed, because we were still hundreds of years, when he was talking about it. But I'm not really talking about that. I know Ghana is one of the big places. They're having a big you know welcome. They welcome us back home. I think it's been for about a year now, going on a year. They actually welcome us because, little as you guys know, a lot of Africans don't like us too much. The African Americans, don't like us too much. But they'll open the doors. It's like, hey, y'all, when y'all retire, y'all come on back home. Y'all come on back home, and so I mean, there's thoughts and stuff, and I was talking to some of my friends today. A couple of them, and serious thoughts. So I just have to you know, could convince my better half if she want to go. Go back. She always ride. I know she'll go. But yeah. So that's gonna be the next one. Is it time to pack on up? Is it time to hit the road and pack it on up and get our own? So again, thank you, everybody who came through. If I miss you, I think I got everybody. But thank you for coming through, and I'm gonna start hitting you guys up Monday through Friday. What's good, Carolyn Eats? What's good? What's good? You coming at the end and stuff. I guess you got to catch the replay. But um, about 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to hit you for about 30 minutes of pretty much like stuff that's kind of like going on in the world, and just want to talk about it, everything. So and have a discussion if you want to discuss it, or whatever. So again, thank you, thank you for coming on through, and close on out with this edition of the Billionaire Talk. Peace.